Anybody can pull this off. In fact, one of the things we did, I'll show you, was this. Okay, so this is the building that took 6 months to go. Okay, this building took 6 months. There was a prior one, which is so indistinguishable, I didn't even want to waste a slide on it. So they submitted one building, and they said, go away. The second one came in, and they said, guess again. And then the third one came in, and this is what they got, and what the board said is, well, this is last Wednesday, I suppose we need to pass it. This is what we're going to put up with. And this is where I had to have 2 martinis that night with Kitty when I saw this event going in. So I told, by the way, this is a weird projector. Everything's more vertical. Okay, all this is, the correct one is wider. I don't know why. The aspect ratio is wrong. But the building, in other words, this building's worse than it looks. You're seeing it much slimmer than it really is. It's quite a fat lug here in my screen. Okay, so this is what you get after 6 months of the BAR process. Excuse me. This is not working at all. Because you know what? 6 months later, the first building that came in wasn't worse. It was virtually indistinguishable. The architect was so demoralized, not only did he mumble his presentation all the way through and not even take his time, because it didn't matter. And then when they said, the people on the board said whatever they wanted, it wasn't stupid, but it was not very precise. And the poor architect was asked, sir, do you have anything to say? He says, I think he might have been asleep. There was no sound. It was an absolute funeral that I witnessed that day for one of the first building of one of the most important parts. So I said, Dylan, get this building, okay? You have about 6 hours. Let's see what you can do. Okay, and that's what he did. Okay, sorry, why is this not working now? Oh, because this is very heavy, right, Dylan?
Yes, again.
Okay, let me go back. Okay, so what did he do? He took the exact same massing. He redesigned the very crude grill that was out of date from some magazine when the poor architect had been to school 25 years ago. Right? That's what they did when you had no ideas. And Dylan, frankly, didn't have any ideas either. Right? But he had ideas that come from Charleston, which is you make a gallery made out of metal, which is what's here. He takes the big windows. Damn, I cannot believe this screen. It's half the width, what you're seeing here. All the proportions are off. The building, it's really twice as wide what I'm looking at here. Anyway, so he does the small windows, he puts the base 2 stories, and he brings just one line. The top floor, by the way, was already taller. The architect had already made the top floor taller, which you may not have noticed because he used the same window slightly extended. Well, if he had actually used an additional window, we would have noticed that it was actually taller. And then he put one more piece of prefabrication. Probably down here, it'd be nice if it were stone. Up here, it can be concrete. It doesn't matter. He picked up the cornice from the other building, and lo and behold, he got a really decent building. And even up close, it looks okay, right? That's a domestic window. This building cost less, if not much less, than the one that was being presented. So there's no excuse for not doing it. It would probably be nicer inside. You know what the problem is? A, that nobody thinks of doing this, and B, that the board does not feel compelled to tell the architect anything. They literally say, we're going to give you all this vague stuff, go off, guess again. And so the guy picks up another magazine, this time ever more depressed, and picks up another cliche in Charlotte, and tells some kid in the computer to just do it. And as an architect, I'll tell you that's exactly what you're getting. Instead of saying, we don't want you designing a building down here until you've settled into Charleston for 2 days, take your photographs, show us what you're doing, and if you don't take the right photographs, we're going to show you what the photographs are. And we're not going to show you a single photograph from anywhere else except Charleston. And so that habit that there is now of actually showing photographs from all over the world to the prospective architects, you're confusing them to do that. It's very, very confusing to the architects, and it's unfair, because the people actually want this, and this is your brand. Okay, I'll tell you, this is Dylan half asleep doing this. Got it? So this is not some, DPZ, your young people are such geniuses. No, it's like a regular guy did this in 6 hours.